Hi, my name is Christian Bassnight, and you're watching Grand Slam Tennis News Today. The big story for today is former world number one and 2018 Australian Open champion Caroline Wozniacki announcing that she'll be returning to the Pro Tour. Wozniacki retired 3 years ago at the 2020 Australian Open, and she ultimately started a family and gave birth to her daughter Olivia and her son James in 2021 and 2022 respectively. Caro broke the news in a piece with Vogue, captioning on socials, "Over these past 3 years away from the game, I got to make up for lost time with my family. I became a mother and now have 2 beautiful children I am so grateful for. But I still have goals I want to accomplish. I want to show my kids that you can pursue your dreams no matter your age or role. We decided as a family it's time. I'm coming back to play and I can't wait." Wozniacki will make her return at the Montreal 1000 event in August, which she won back in 2010. She'll then play in the US Open, where she's a 2-time finalist, and she took a wild card to both tournaments. Caro also plans on competing at the 2024 Australian Open and Paris Olympics. When speaking of her comeback prospects in that Vogue article, she said, "How long will I be able to play at my highest level? A year, 2 years, 3 years? I don't know. But I know that 5 years from now, when the kids are in school, it would be too late. I'm not going to make any bold predictions. I'm too competitive to just show up and not feel like I'm going to be one of the best players out there. Am I nervous? No, not really. I'm coming back to something I love. Yes, I'll be nervous before a match. I'm okay with that. I'm great with that. Can I win the US Open? I think so. Can I win the Australian Open? I think so. That's why I'm doing this, and I guess we'll see what happens." Personally, I'm not mad at all with Caro's decision to come back and play tennis. I think it'll be great for the sport to have her back competing, as she's a relatively big name in the tennis world. And funny enough, she actually takes over Iga's spot or title as the active player with the most weeks at number one, as we were just giving her her tens, Iga, for that, as she overtook Halep for that honor, as she is at 65 weeks, but Caroline has 71 weeks at number one to her name. Now, I know in the past that some player comebacks have not been that successful, most notably being Kim Clijsters when she decided to come back to the sport in 2020. She struggled a lot. She didn't even win a match when she decided to come back on tour, and a lot of that was due to just struggling with finding fitness. I think she came back at 35 and she had like 4 kids. But it's different with Wozniacki. Not only does she only have 2 kids, she's younger, and then 2, she looks to be in much better shape. I know you can't necessarily correlate weight with fitness, but I do feel like she was known as one of the most fittest players on tour, so I don't think fitness will be that much of an issue with her. And then also looking back at a player like Elina Svitolina, she's around the same age, and she just had a child not too long ago, and she came back relatively successful. She won a title, and then she made the French Open quarterfinals literally last month. And she's playing the best tennis of her career, so it's definitely possible that Wozniacki can come back and have a lot of success on tour. Caroline will be turning 33 in July in a couple of weeks, but I don't think that that's necessarily an issue. We had Serena, who came back at 36, and she reached 4 slam finals, though Serena is literally a different breed, so we can't necessarily compare that. But my point is that Caroline can come back at her age and still have success on tour. Taylor Townsend is another one who came back and had great success on tour since giving birth to her son Aiden. I think it's definitely a great time for Caroline to come back because the field doesn't seem to be that deep. Venus Williams is literally 43 years old, and she beat Camila Giorgio, who's a top 50 player, and she nearly beat Yelena Ostapenko. So, why not Wozniacki? Why can't she do that? She probably would move better than Venus too. Now, the big question is, can Caroline win those big titles? And right now, the big 3, Iga Swiatek, Arna Sabalenka, and Elena Rybakina, are winning most of those big titles. So, can she rival them? She does have losing head-to-heads against both Iga and Arna, though I'm not going to read too much into those because those matches were played back in 2018 and 2019, so can't read too much into that. I don't know if she will be able to like I just said, rival them, because her head-to-head record against the big hitters wasn't that great. Just thinking back against, even Venus, she was 1-7. Serena, she only won one match as well. And then against Sharapova, she was 4-7. And then all three of those players, even Swiatek included, they have big games. So there is a possibility to where they could just, totally out-hit her and just hit her off the court. Caroline had a reputation of being a pusher for the majority of her career, but I think that if she wants to have a lot of success this comeback, she's going to have to step up and play more aggressive. She did this in 2014 and 2018, notably, where she had a lot of success and ultimately returned back to number one. The main thing I think is she's going to have to be more aggressive with that forehand, similar to how she was back in 2014 and 2018, in order to get the results that she's looking for. If I were Caroline, I'd obviously try to win as much as possible, but I specifically try to hone in and win those slams that, she didn't win, those 3 slams, especially the US Open, because she came close, like I mentioned earlier, making 2 finals there. Caroline has commentated for both Tennis Channel and ESPN the past year or so that means she's very informed about all the top players and will have good insight and a good read on how to play them and ultimately beat them. So that's an advantage that she has. I intern at Tennis Channel, and in one of our meetings actually the past week, it's funny, they mentioned how Caroline was training twice a day during the French, so maybe Tennis Channel should try to be prepared for a possible comeback announcement from her. Not only is that ironic and funny, but it shows that she's very, very serious about this comeback and is coming for blood. Wozniacki played her last match exhibition with Angelique Kerber back in April of 2022, and she said that she didn't hit since then until after she gave birth to her son James in October. Side note, speaking of Kerber, Angelique said that she plans on returning to the tour at the 2024 Australian Open after she gave birth this year. These pushers are pushing out babies and coming right back on court. I love to see it. When Caroline decided to go back on court and when she was hitting with her dad, she said that she felt that she was hitting the ball better than ever and that she was enjoying the game perhaps the most that she had in her entire life. One of the main reasons Carol decided to hang it up was, of course, to start a family, but she also suffered from rheumatoid arthritis, which caused her joints to swell up. According to Wozniacki, the entire process of competing on tour with rheumatoid arthritis became, quote, too exhausting, but she says that long break from tennis seems to have done wonders in terms of recovery for that condition. Carol also gave flowers to her friend Serena Williams in that Vogue article, saying that the 23-time champion was supportive of the comeback and that Williams is an inspiration with how she proves that anything is possible. Serena and I had dinner a few weeks ago, and when I told her my plan, she just said, "Wow, good for you. I'm going to cheer you on every step of the way, and if you ever need anything, I'm here." I think Serena doesn't get nearly enough credit for getting to so many Grand Slam finals. Her retirement will always be bittersweet for both me and for so many other players because she's meant so much to women's tennis. She paved the way for so many of us. She showed us that anything is possible. As women, I think we need to be strong, to stand up for what we believe in and not be afraid to say, I can be the best at something. Wozniacki also says she hopes that she can be an inspiration to other women to show that they can also have kids and pursue their own dreams. I've talked with a lot of women who gave up on their own dreams because they wanted to be with their families, but somewhere deep down they have this yearning to do something they're passionate about. I want to show those women that maybe there's a way. It's certainly not easy to find the right balance, and I'm so lucky to have a supportive husband and supportive parents and the help of a nanny, but I think it's possible. I want to prove that to myself and to those women, you can have both. You can be thrilled with your family and with everything at home and still have a career and be great at it. I'm curious, how do y'all think Wozniacki will do in this latest comeback? Can she perhaps challenge the big three and win big titles, or will it be more of a bust like we saw with Kim Clijsters and Marion Bartoli? Leave those thoughts in the comments below and make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post new content, like when I post my women's draw preview for Wimbledon coming out tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.